Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. When it comes to the issue of insecurity, every region in Nigeria is having a bite and a taste of it, and a lot of people have been beckoning on the federal government, the state government to look into the issue of insecurity. We talked about, or Nigerians or government in particular talked about the issue of state policing. As we speak, a lot is happening. It looks like the Fulani herdsmen are not done with the southeast. A lot of information is bringing out, and other people have decided to diverse the means of seeing how they can protect their ancestral land. It's quite a serious one. Before we go into the news proper, we like you subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, a vigilante group in Arondizuogu in the Idiato North local government area of Imo State have repelled a move against them by some suspected herdsmen. The militia group said they engaged in a draw with their assailant, after which some of them escaped into the bush with so much injuries. One of the members of the vigilantes who spoke after the incident said they were returning from the residence of a member who they drove back home after being discharged from a hospital before they came against them. He said the armed herders did not know they were fully also ready. In a video, as at Monday, the vigilante speaking in Igbo said, "We took one of our men from the hospital to his house. After dropping him off at his house, we were returning, so we got information that a robbery was happening. We disguised as ordinary men and arrived at the location. And truly, some herdsmen came from the bush to come against our vehicle, but they were taken by surprise as we confronted them and we even overpowered them. They escaped into the bush." The man said he also showed their vehicle, which was riddled with so much, lamenting that the engine might have been destroyed. The man, however, disclosed that some of the criminal residents in the vicinity usually took advantage of the silent area to rob and perpetrate evil. Wow, this is quite strong, judging the fact that this is festive period. It's good. See, whether we like it or not, security is everybody's business. So if you want to wait for the federal government, I want to wait for the state government to come to your aid. By the time the bandits are done, you will not have a place to call ancestral. You will not have a place to call your ancestral home or a land to call your own. It's good to know that the Arondizuogu people have decided to form some sort of vigilante. It's also good to also know that they have some sort of protection for themselves. We can't keep behaving as if these things don't exist. I could still remember that when Nigerians were insisting that bandits now should be called the name they are, now begin to call them bandits. At some point, Shegume had to, at the beginning, he was like, look, changing their name doesn't matter. These guys they don't have an address, so how would you, prescribe them and all that, giving them all sorts. But people were like, you don't want to prescribe them, but insecurity is rising and we keep seeing the fingers pointing towards them. Okay, finally, they actually did the prescription at some point, not even directly to the Fulani herdsmen, but some other people, of which some persons in some quarters got very angry and that they shouldn't have prescribed them. But their activities are showing every day. IDP camp is on the increase simply because of some of their activities. You see them, they are nomadics, you see them taking their cows everywhere. Just assume, okay, one of these guys doing their nomadic grazing. It has gone beyond that. Sometimes people get very unusually uncomfortable with them when they move around because you're wondering. I hope they're not just they're disguising themselves with the hope that okay, we'll come back later after understanding the vicinity. Don't forget that as they're rearing the cows, moving into places, entering some corners and all that, they're getting familiarized, they're getting familiar with the environment. If they have sinister plans, that the one that happened in Arondizuogu, while they're taking their nomadics, their animals, their cows for grazing, they're watching and taking security notes. Okay, how long do people will go through this route? Okay, this route looks like very lonely path. How long do security personnel pass through this place? And they watch how long also do they have vigilante group, and if they don't have vigilante group, do they work in their numbers in twos and threes? And if they do? Do they have some sort of things to protect themselves with in case they come against them at some point? These are things. It looks as if it's not these guys are doing their thing a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months. By the time they get comfortable, find out that okay, there's no vigilante around and there's no security personnel always coming in. Come on, let's tell ourselves the truth, man. And the number of personnel we have compared to more than over 200 million Nigerians, averagely, how many one person is taking care of how many? You can do the math. Now, if you look at it from that perspective, you are still not totally correct, because some of our celebrities have them as orderlies, some of our security personnel have them as their security protocol. Some of them have all manner in their security. Some of our security agencies also protect the families and the children and the relatives of some of our politicians. So that reduces even the number of available hands that will protect the average Nigerian, that is over 200 million Nigerians. So you see, if we want to go by that mathematics, then we should start getting very worried. So the best thing to do, while we are still looking about the issue of financial incapacity, inflation here and there, we should also be looking at state police and where the people have to make up their mind. Leave politics now, leave propaganda. Make up your mind to protect your vicinity. Make up your mind to protect your local government. Because if the Arondizuogu guys didn't rise up to the occasion, by then they would have been long gone. Even though it's in Imo State, and even though also Governor Hope Uzodinma had mentioned in the earlier video, you notice that Governor Hope Uzodinma had earlier mentioned that insecurity has risen up in the southeast, that this particularly in Imo State, that the inmates that was released some months back, over 1,800 and something inmates, are now having a few days. It is a seed. So at that point in time when they were out, it looks as if nothing is happening. They dispersed, they moved into several places with the criminal knowledge, and they're also going into hiding. They need to feed, they need to survive. Cost of living is very high, so they go back into robbery, but with desperation not to go back into prison, because the likelihood of them even going into prison and not coming out is very high. So you now see we have a situation in our hands. It's not something that you need to play politics. Life, when it comes to insecurity, when it comes to security, when it comes to security, when it comes to food, when it comes to health and life, you don't toy with it. It's either it is or it is not. You don't begin to play to the gallery. If there's no security, please indicate there's no security, because the level of hunger in the land and how lucrative banditry has become, kidnapping has become, it should be such that by now there should have been a let down policy saying anyone caught in the act should be dead by hanging, so that way they can reduce the number of people, or they can even reduce the lucrativeness or the attractiveness of that sector, so that men will start thinking of working and not being lazy to enter a sector that will cause another man's discomfort. Well, I guess that's what we're going to wrap it up. You may have a different opinion. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take?